And we have a go for auto sequence start. T minus 17 seconds and counting. All systems are go. Start. 2, 1. Boost ignition and liftoff.
It's time to charge up with Victor Pisano.
Hey everybody, thanks for listening to another edition of the Powercast from Charge Up. Based on the current happenings in our world today, I've got a question for you. What if gratitude elicited the same call to action as fear? In other words, when I take a step back and observe everything going on with the COVID-19 pandemic, it seems as if fear can easily overtake fact. By no means am I diluting the importance of safety and precaution. This is a very serious situation which requires all of us to be vigilant. But if we're focused on health, the question begs, is it healthy to have a constant news feed of fear? Is it healthy to continuously repost information that doesn't come from a credible source? Is it healthy to make this epidemic political? You see, there are times in the day where I wish I could scream stop loud enough for the entire world to hear. And what had sounded like loud, piercing distortion could turn into complete silence for just a minute, allowing one voice to speak uninterrupted. If given this chance, I'd simply say, let's all take a deep breath, be in the present moment, and have no interruption. Because now it's time to ask yourself, what do I have control over? And what do I not have control over? You see, if you don't have control over something, let it go and eliminate the pressures that it's causing. If you do have control over a situation, handle it. Don't be so distracted by the outside world that you forget living the life that's right in front of you. You've got to live each day to be the fullest, most positive, a person who finds gratitude, that's selfless in that journey towards complete fulfillment. It requires you to live each day to its fullest. Please don't panic. Instead, explore the facts. Talk with your family and friends about having balance, staying healthy, and believing that faith over fear, that attitude, faith over fear, can endure this adversity. Now, on the count of 3, let's start all over with the day. Let's just take a deep breath and get to it. 1, 2, 3. Take that deep breath. Okay. How many people would feel at least a bit of pressure off their minds? How many would reflect and realize there's not a reason to panic? How many would quit thinking about tomorrow and instead be where their feet are today? How many of us would fall back on gratitude? And I know I use that word a lot, but the power it holds is incredible. Here's a fact. Did you know that you cannot experience stress and gratitude at the same time? They're too powerful of emotions. Each one of those consumes our mind. So given that fact, which would you rather feel? I'm not being a Pollyanna, but sometimes it's as simple as using belief language rather than negativity when we talk to ourselves. It's that inner voice versus the voice of reason. It is a constant fight. It is a constant battle. But once we realize that that voice of reason can overtake the inner voice, it becomes habit. And once it becomes habit, we take more control of our life. Now, this is a scary situation. In fact, it's uncharted waters for so many people. But my priority is to stay healthy. I'm going to make sure that I follow that standard and not allow the noise around me to make me overreact. Everything is going to be all right. You see, instead of stressing myself out, worrying about what could be, I instead am going to take control of the narrative in my head, and I'm going to put a finite approach in place for how I choose to live my life in this very moment. I'm going to practice it. I'm going to use belief language, not only in talking to myself, but when talking to others too. I think about phrases like, let's pull together and create solutions rather than more problems. How can we help the situation? We can't consume ourselves with what we cannot control, so let's create support systems to help each other out. On the front page of every newspaper, the lead story everywhere, I'm going to repeat it, but we don't need to go to the grocery store and hoard everything in stock as if it's the end of the world. Understand, there are certain people who need specific items much more than we do. If we have the means necessary to protect ourselves, let's make protecting others an opportunity to show our gratitude. So here is exactly where we can be the solution. I want to be proactive in this thing. I don't want to just talk about everything that's going on. I want to say, how can we help? What can we do? blood banks. They're in desperate need of supply. We've got to find a way to help. So what they've done is they've set up certain times for people to come. They've spaced the seatings out, but they have not closed their doors. And the thing is, hospitals need blood now more than ever. They're talking about a crisis all over the world. If you can take 15 minutes of your day to go to the blood bank and do something like that, you have no clue how many lives you could affect. The other thing, small businesses in your community are suffering. Find a way to support them first. A lot of these restaurants that are local restaurants are doing takeout business or curbside. You know, it's okay if you want to start thinking about birthdays and Christmas. Buy gift certificates. At least it's cash flow for these businesses. Same with other businesses inside your community. If it's something that you know you can give as a gift, order a gift certificate. It's just showing your commitment to them, because how many times have you asked businesses within your local community to support a team, to support a school play, to support something with your child in school? Guess what? They're asking for your help now. So please remember how many times they've stepped up to help you. This is our opportunity to say thank you. Now, kids who aren't in school because they've been shut down temporarily, but they rely upon programs to assist them with eating breakfast and lunch, that needs attention. Call your local food bank, call your school district, ask how you can help. Here's another thing. If you're at the grocery store, consider buying just some extra precautionary items and give them to your child's teacher when they return to school so they have an adequate supply. Or do the same thing. Consider buying some extra precautionary items if you know you have some people who are older that live in your neighborhood, on your street, who may not have the necessary means available to go to the grocery store right now, who may have family out of town. Look out for them. Look out for people in your community. Look out for people in your street. Each of those things are showing a gratitude in an adverse situation. Here's a simple one, but I promise you it will go a long way. Write a letter to one of the hospitals in your area and address it to all of the doctors, nurses, and staff. In this handwritten note, simply thank each of them for their sacrifice for being away from their families and working such long shifts to ensure the safety of our community. Tell them how appreciative and grateful you are. Handwritten, have the whole family sign it, put it in the mail. I'm telling you, when they look at these things, and hopefully there are bags and bags of these letters that they can fall back on, they took an oath to protect. They are committed to our health before their own. But we're reading where some of these people are working 12 to 18-hour shifts, 7 days a week, in conditions that are not up to protocol. And it has been adverse, but you have not seen one of them just drop out, walk away, and say, I give up. They continue to fight the fight. And we've got to thank those people who are on the front line. Just in those examples, do you see how powerful gratitude can be? Instead of letting fear consume us, let's get grounded. Push aside fear, discover gratitude, because that is what's going to get us through these tough times. All of us have so many incredible gifts to offer. In tough times, those are the best times to give those gifts. Like anything, the saying, this too shall pass, it applies. We'll soon find resolve. We'll settle back in our routine. But let's not make the mistake of forgetting how we handled this adversity. By recognizing the problem and reflecting upon our actions that made a difference, we'll only be that much more prepared the next time we face a challenge. So friends, go out and make a difference today. Remember, leadership is a privilege. Thanks for taking the time to listen. The whole team, we sincerely appreciate it. Be sure and go check out more of our Charge Up content. We've got you covered all over social media. Charge Up Today. You can also visit us at our website, chargeuptoday.com. On behalf of all of us at Charge Up, we sincerely thank you for your support and for listening to this edition of the Powercast. As always, I'm humbled to lead. Have a great week, and don't forget, my friends, charge up.
Roger, we'll stop. That was a picture-perfect end to a top-fuel mission. Everybody, welcome back to Earth.
Thanks for listening to Charge Up with Victor Pisano. Subscribe to the podcast at chargeuptoday.com.